It is loud and it is wet here, Coach, as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Ready. 15 Lonnie. You better bring it. Check. Ready.
Now a play fake here on first down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And got his man complete. It's a gain of 34. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. He'll look to throw. He's going to let one fly into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made...
Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 30. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 84 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Come on, man. Let's go. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. King now to throw on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that does.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 10 Lobos.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 37. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. And pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check Mike 33. Check Mike 33. Come to 66. Bullet high. Let's go.
Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Throwing is Bridgewater. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a tough turnover there as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space. There they elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot. Let's throw it. Try and create some space, some room. And it went awry, didn't it?
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Here's a 2nd and 7. Forced out to his left. Golden Tate there to make the grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And he moved left there, Charles. Little danger play. He didn't throw toward that left side, went over the middle, got the 6 though.
Yeah, he seems like the type of guy that when you told him as a kid, don't touch the stove because it might be hot, he touched it anyway. And this one, he got away without getting burned.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with third and just a couple. Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. And he finds Cook. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. First down throw for Bridgewater. Flushed out right. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. They'll set up a throw. Another, and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Jordan Jenkins in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Now a fair catch called for and taken here, and that'll set up his guys in great field position. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. From the 35 on 2nd down, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Bridgewater now. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisive.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. Game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
From the 44, Bridgewater. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. He's got Smith here. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Bridgewater. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
On 2nd down now. It's Coleman. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on second down, Bridgewater. And Josh Hill has it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Bridgewater on first down. It's caught. Smith. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Bridgewater to throw it this time. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Lamb. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. To throw is Bridgewater. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he's got this down to the 35. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now this time he'll look to throw. And it's caught, the tight end Hill. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. A 10th carry for Kamara. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
There's several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll drop the throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. They'll find him. Find him.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the...
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 85 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Now whistles and a timeout signaled here by the offense, and that's their first of this second half. Now Bridgewater will lead the troops up to go for 2.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
Hey, pick it up, defense.
Bridgewater. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
On the return, the Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. But it's going to be second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Second and 10. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 34-yard line. Looking to throw. That tight end position, it just seems to... And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 39, Bridgewater, complete. Smith has it. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. From the gun, Bridgewater. And this is Cook with a grab. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Throwing, Bridgewater. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The roughing the kicker called on fourth down. What a big break. Leads to a first and 10. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be second and 12. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
54 is Mike. Get up, go. Check, check. Walk 54. Walk 54. Hey, 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 hey. Mike, hold on. Mike 54.
On 2nd and 12, Bridgewater out of the backfield. That's complete to Kamara. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up a third down.
Third down. 54. Mike 54.
Yeah.
Here's Bridgewater. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Here we go. 8, read. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Go, go. Be ready.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's complete to Disley, the tight end.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Coleman now. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's got his man. This is Tate. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Golden Tate. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. He'll drop to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2 that keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running with Kamara. And he'll go down at the 28. In on the stop, Bradley McDougal. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Jaron Reed forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Bridgewater. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the former Husky, Marcus Peters. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. A give to Kamara running right. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Oh, a design run for their wideout. And some room to work. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. King. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Marcus Davenport able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Eli Apple. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11. The 29-yard line.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together.